210 horsepower. It's got power to spare. Introducing the all-new 1995 Eclipse from Mitsubishi. The new thinking in automobiles.
From WKOW TV Madison, this is Channel 27 News at 10 with Jeff Gillen and Wendy Warren. Straight to the point.
It was a harvest of help near Stoughton today. Dozens of people turned out to turn a tragic farm accident into a story of friendship. Hello, everyone. Wendy has the night off.
2 weeks ago, Paul Qualley died when he backed his tractor, unfortunately, into a shed. Obviously, that has his wife and family dealing with his loss and with work left to be done. Night Team reporter Dan Presser shows us how his friends are helping out.
When Paul Qualley planted this crop of tobacco in June, he expected to be out here for the harvest. But fate made this the last of a crop the 62-year-old Utica farmer had devoted his sweat and muscle to for many years.
One thing Paul loved was tobacco. He really loved working in tobacco.
Now, more than a dozen of his friends are helping his wife with the work that was left behind. This 6-acre tract is the second field they've harvested. Is it hard for you to see him cut it down?
Well, it is, but I keep thinking he's up there watching us. He knows what we're doing. Thanking all of his friends and neighbors.
Without all of this help out here going through row by row, this crop would have been very difficult to pull in this year. The other tobacco farmers out here know the importance of a little help.
Oh, it's almost impossible for one or two people to get out here. It's just too much.
And the rows can go by slowly.
When I first started on the other end, I made one trip down and one back. That's a long ways.
But the volunteers say Qualley would and did do the same for others. And with life as unpredictable as it is, they say someday they may need others to return this harvest of compassion. In Stoughton, Dan Presser, Channel 27 News.
The Janesville farmer who owns that white buffalo has hired an attorney. Dave Hyder says he wants to keep others from making money off the rare animal. The buffalo is drawing worldwide attention. Since it was born August 20th, more than 10,000 people have come to the Hyder's farm to see the calf, appropriately named Miracle.
A pit bull attacked a 31-year-old Madison man today. Police say the neighbor's dog jumped the fence to get to the man. The dog got him in the arms, neck, and chest. Police say it's the second time the dog has attacked somebody. The pit bull has been taken to the Humane Society.
Prosecutors want a jury to hear what murder suspect Penny Broomer told police detectives. Monday, Broomer goes on trial for allegedly killing Sarah Gonstead. Gonstead's body was found last spring off Mineral Point Road. She'd been last seen out drinking with Broomer. Prosecutors say Broomer admitted to being at a bar with Gonstead near the place Gonstead's body was found.
This is a defendant or a person in custody who has waived their right to remain silent and has agreed to talk to police.
Broomer's attorneys say she did not admit anything. A judge will rule on how much of Broomer's interrogation can be retold to a jury.
A possible child enticement case in Sun Prairie today. Police say a couple on a motorcycle approached some kids near an elementary school, offered them candy, ice cream, and a ride. The school district says cases like this are rare, in part because families have worked with the schools there to prepare kids for possible trouble.
There's no way, being America, what America is, to eliminate all the problems. But I think as communities work together and there's a sense of community in your schools, that's going to take us a long way.
And there have also been reports of child enticements in Dodgeville and here in Madison. Assembly Speaker Walter Konecki says he is now in favor of the death penalty. He says the Cora Jones case and the recent killing of a Milwaukee cop changed his mind. Next session, he says he plans to introduce a new death penalty bill. He says it would only apply to those who kidnap and kill and to those who kill on-duty police officers.
The hunt is back on for a place to build Madison Middle School 2000. The school is temporarily set up at the old Hoyt Elementary School. 2 weeks ago, Superintendent Cheryl Wilhoit recommended building the new school at this site in Fitchburg, but some parents said the district was ignoring the needs of minorities in their community. Today, Wilhoit said the district and the city will look for other sites in South Madison.
What I said today and what I've said all along, I'm open to other options. Bring them on.
Wilhoit says she hopes to have a new list of sites in a couple of months. She says the school probably won't open until at least 1996. Famous Footwear won't be building its high-rise headquarters along Lake Monona. The company dumped these plans after protests from neighbors threatened to slow down construction. Instead, Famous Footwear will be moving to the west side to this existing office space.
Whitefish Bay officials made a couple stop building their home because it was too big. And now Tom and Terry Racinas are suing for $850,000. They say the village abused its power when it forced them to stop construction on their half-finished house. Whitefish Bay has 4 months to come up with a settlement, or the couple can file suit in court. Local governments could get a boost to their budgets next year. State Revenue Secretary Mark Buer says Wisconsin cities and counties will get more than $1 billion in state aid in 1995. That's up more than $40 million from this year. The extra money comes partly from higher property values.
We may be the dairy state, but Wisconsin milk production is second to California. Government numbers show California farmers produced 2.1 billion pounds of milk last year. Wisconsin fell short of that with 1.6 billion pounds. Despite the second-place finish, Wisconsin milk production is up overall.
Well, still ahead is an invasion the next step. President Clinton makes a last-minute move to avoid one.
And they call her the Madam to the Stars, and she's back in the slammer. That's later in the News Extra after sports.
This is Channel 27 News, straight to the point. With Jeff Gillen, Wendy Warren, Bob Lindmeyer, and Jay Wilson.
This is the day to remember American soldiers who never made it home. Ceremonies like this one at the VA hospital in Madison played out all over the country. Today, veterans took time out to honor American prisoners of war and soldiers still missing in action. If there is a new battle to fight in Haiti, a unit of reserves in Green Bay is ready. The 432nd Civil Affairs Battalion knows the drill. This support unit provided food and water to troops during the Gulf War. The commander of the 432nd says the mission in Haiti is tailor-made for his battalion.
Well, it is a one last chance for Haiti's dictatorship. The White House said today that former President Jimmy Carter will go to Haiti to talk with its military leaders. Georgia Senator Sam Nunn and former Joint Chiefs Chairman Colin Powell will go with him. In Washington, President Clinton met with representatives from 24 countries that will send troops to Haiti, and former President Bush spoke about the possible invasion.
I disagree with the concept of the use of American force there, but if one soldier goes ashore, and I hope they don't, I will immediately do what I think all Americans should do, and that is to support our forces and support our president.
Experts say the Carter mission puts off the invasion by about a day or two. Well, the president still has a lot of convincing to do to get America to back an invasion. An ABC poll shows the number of Americans who support going in went up slightly after Clinton's speech last night, but 60% still don't want the U.S. to invade.
A jury says Exxon owes $5 billion for a 1989 oil spill. Alaska's Prince William Sound was polluted with oil when the Exxon Valdez ran aground. Today, the company was ordered to pay the fine for punitive damages to commercial fishermen and Alaskan natives. They'd asked for $15 billion. Exxon's lawyers say they will appeal the verdict. There was a big fire scare at the White House today. Staffers smelled something funny and called the fire department. 3 fire trucks converged on the White House but found no fire. It turned out to be a short circuit in a light fixture.
2 astronauts were floating free above the Earth today. This was the first untethered spacewalk in 10 years for the U.S. Astronauts Mark Lee and Carl Meade shared a $7 million jetpack that will let them fly back to the shuttle. NASA wants to use the jetpack as a life preserver for space station crews of the future. And you wonder if the astronauts ever trained at Space Station Quest? Well, that's the new attraction in Wausau that teaches kids about science and technology. Spencer Christian from Good Morning America even showed up today. He did his weather segments from Wausau this morning.
Well, even the most die-hard baseball fans can only take so much. Later in the News Extra after sports, you'll meet a guy who threw in the towel today.
But first, Bob's forecast.
Channel 27 News continues with Bob Lindmeyer weather.
If you're outside for any length of time this evening, strolling around, I'm sure you noticed how cooler and less humid it was today compared to yesterday. Nonetheless, today was above normal. Today marked the 10th consecutive day of temperatures above normal. But all that's about to change. We really cooled off this evening. Right now, skies are partly cloudy, 63 degrees. Really nice out there. Humidity 81%. Winds are west at 6 miles per hour. Pressure's on the rise at 29.95. Well, we've been in between clouds this afternoon and through the evening hours. On the satellite view, we do have an area of clouds off to our west from western Wisconsin going back into Minnesota. Another batch of clouds off to our east. These have been producing some rain showers off to the east, some thunderstorms too. But again, we're in between cloud areas, at least for the time being. We had a cool front go through today. That's the reason for the big change in our weather conditions. That cool front is now extending off into Lake Michigan, extending all the way down to Illinois. Again, ahead of this cool front, that's where all the rain shower activity is. But you'll notice behind the cool front, there's still some cloud cover. You might be wondering why. Well, you hear me talk about upper air disturbances all the time. What those upper air disturbances are waves in the upper air wind pattern. At about 20,000 feet, we have this kind of wave orientation, and that causes instability in the atmosphere. It's not strong enough to produce shower activity, but it is strong enough to produce considerable cloud cover. And that cloud cover is going to be drifting across us as we go through the night and into the morning hours of tomorrow. But the weather is looking good, no doubt about it. This is high temperatures that we experienced today. Again, ahead of the cool front, readings were in the 80s, but look at the cool readings behind this front. Temperatures just in the 60s from northwest Wisconsin going back into Minnesota. I don't think we'll experience high temperatures in the 60s, but we will be close to the 70-degree mark. So tomorrow is going to be a lot cooler than we've been in about 12 days or so. Forecast map for tomorrow shows that cool front well off to our east. High pressure starting to come in from North Dakota. In between, we'll experience partly cloudy skies across Wisconsin. Looks like it'll be a great day. Maybe some cloud cover early in the day, but that should dissipate, leaving us with quite a bit of sunshine in the afternoon. Forecast for Sunday shows that area of high pressure starting to come in. That'll be close enough to clear away any cloud cover. It looks like it will be a completely blue sky kind of day. High temperatures, well, we are going to be close to normal, but there's some warmth out west. That's going to reach us later next week. I'll be back with details next. It's going to be a cool one tonight for a change, and it's going to be fall-like for a while. Tonight, I'm looking for skies to turn mostly cloudy, a low of 55 degrees. That'll be the coolest we've been in about 10 days. For tomorrow, partly sunny skies by the afternoon, some clouds in the morning, high around 72 degrees. For tomorrow night, clear, low 52. Sunday, looking sunny and a high near 70. We'll keep it going. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all look dry. Temperatures will moderate into the middle of next week. But boy, this weekend's going to be great.
All right, good enough. Thank you, buddy. Still ahead, some Elvis fans plead their case why they think Elvis is still alive.
And in sports, the Packers turn back the clock Sunday. Jay Wilson has the story coming up.
Channel 27 News continues with Jay Wilson Sports.
The big game is only one day away. The Badgers are ranked 10th in the country. Colorado ranks 7th. The Badgers and Buffs play tomorrow night, 8:45 in Boulder. One of the Badgers' big tasks will be to stop Colorado's offense, ranked number 1 in the country. The Buffs rolled up over 630 yards against Northeast Louisiana 2 weeks ago. The trigger man is quarterback Cordell Stewart.
I'm real confident, I'm used to I know what I'm supposed to do. I know what checks I'm supposed to make and everything like that, so it's just a matter of me just going out there and do what I'm supposed to do and just execute.
He's probably one of the better ones that we're going to see all year, and the wide receiving corps, they're fast and they're big, and we're just going to have to, like I said, go out there and try to do our best, and hopefully at the end of the game we'll be in it.
Packers are getting ready for the Philadelphia Eagles Sunday in Philadelphia. The Packers, of course, will wear replica uniforms from the 1937 season. Nose tackle John Yurkovic has seen them.
Ours ain't bad, but some of the teams around the league are really complaining because some of them are actually hideous looking.
Anyone in particular that you heard of?
Pittsburgh guys are complaining. I read that in the paper today. Some teams like the Cleveland Browns don't change anything. They got the same sorry uniforms on today that they had on yesterday.
Jeff Bodine wins the pole for the NASCAR race in Dover, Delaware. It's Bodine's 5th pole of the season. Wisconsin's Dick Trickle gets the 2nd fastest time of the day. He'll start in the front row. And Ernie Irvin has been moved to a hospital in Charlotte to be closer to home. And the first ever President's Cup begins in Virginia today. It's the top pros of the U.S. against the best of the rest of the world, but the best of anyone right now is Nick Price. He rolls this one in for Eagle, but the U.S. team still leads the international team 7.5 to 2.5. To the BC Open in New York. Jeff Sluman is your leader by 1 after 2 rounds. Edgerton's Steve Stricker at -2. And the new home of the Chicago Bulls and Blackhawks opens tonight. The United Center replaces old Chicago Stadium. First event, the Blackhawks in St. Louis in preseason hockey. That's Craig Johnson of the Blues scoring the first ever goal at the new United
That's
Center.
supposed to be quite an arena, by the way, too.
Well, Chicago Stadium was darn near falling apart, so they had to do something.
It's like right next to it, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And boy, a big prep report coming up.
Ooh.
Some
Boy,
big plays,
howdy.
some exciting plays.
Where?
Don't
From
touch
where?
that dial. We got something from Monroe you really want to watch.
All right, cool. Good enough.
But up next, the story of one lucky golfer in the News Extra.
And you know, it took an awful lot of candy to fill this one. The biggest piñata maybe ever. Straight ahead.
Hi, I'm Parker Drew, and this is the official Wisconsin Lottery Super Cash drawing, witnessed by the certified public accounting firm of Conley, McDonald & Company. Match the 6 numbers we draw from 36 and win our top prize of $250,000. The first number tonight is 35. 35. The second number is 1. The number 1. The third number, 15. 15. The fourth number is 21. 21. Cash prizes for matching 4 and 5 numbers as well. The fifth number is 33. 33. And the sixth number for $250,000 is 30. 30. Once again, 35, 1, 15, 21, 33, and 30. Thanks for playing Super Cash. Don't forget the Money Game 4 drawing tomorrow night at 10:45. Good night, everyone.
A lucky day on the golf course.
And life without baseball. Here's tonight's 27 News Extra. Alleged Hollywood madame Heidi Fleiss is behind bars again. Fleiss was arrested for testing positive for drugs. Jury selection for Fleiss's trial is scheduled for September 26th. It's the same day that O.J. Simpson's murder trial starts. The two cases may be tried just down the hall from each other.
A gruesome day at the Miami Zoo. Officials say a dog killed 7 African antelope. The pit bull mauled the gazelles before it was shot to death. Authorities are trying to figure out how the dog got into the zoo.
And there is one lucky golfer at Torrey Pines Golf Course in San Diego. Teddy Gluck was playing the 4th hole when his electric pull cart took off and headed for a 400-foot cliff. Gluck dove for the cart trying to save his clubs. Instead, he fell 50 feet to a ledge below. Friends and doctors say Gluck will be just fine.
Well, I didn't get a chance to get a close look at him, but I understand he'll be out here in a couple of days, knowing Teddy. So come on, play Torrey. It's a great course.
A Sacramento baseball fan is calling it quits today. He's been protesting the Major League strike from the roof of a local sports bar. He calls himself Babe Ruth, and he's not happy about the end of the season.
It's a tragedy, is what it is. I will never go see a baseball game again. I'll never watch one on TV. And I'm going to be forming a fan coalition, so to speak, to boycott the baseball games next year.
Bankston had been on his perch since the strike started 5 weeks ago. He said he was reluctant to come down, but his life must go on without baseball.
Does it? I guess. Well, it took a lot of paper mache and patience, but the people of Houston think they may have a world record on their hands. Yes, folks in Houston are in the middle of building the world's biggest piñata, Jay Wilson. It's 8 by 7 feet, shaped like a star. They're going to fill it with candy and turn it over to the folks from the Guinness Book of World Records.
That's the biggest one Jay Wilson's ever seen. Dead men don't sweat. That's one reason the Presley Commission claims to have proof Elvis is alive. The group of sleuthing fans contends organized crime forced Elvis to fake his death. They say the king staged a phony funeral with a sweating wax likeness inside a coffin. That way he could enter the federal witness protection program.
That explains it for me.
That explains all those sightings, I guess.
Absolutely. Coming up on the Prep Report, we're going to see what all this excitement is about in Monroe.
And East meets West at Mansfield Stadium. Jay Wilson has the Prep Report next.